Another great part of the SOLIDWORKS PDM package is the ability to create custom templates. Now, typically when we think of SOLIDWORKS templates, we think of part, assembly, and drawing file templates. With SOLIDWORKS PDM, we also have the ability to create feature-specific templates, such as custom folder structures. This can be extremely useful when trying to maintain order inside of your vaults and give users the ability to navigate through multiple projects without confusion. Let's jump into the SOLIDWORKS PDM administration tool and see how this can be done. Now, I've already gone ahead and created a custom template for us to look at. So I've logged into my administration tool, double click on the vault, log in, go down to templates. And you can see if we expand here, I've already got one called Project 1. So I'm going to double click through that. Now these are the same steps that you take when you create a new template. You just simply right click on the templates and create new template. We're just already going to have a lot of the info filled in so we can see how it's done correctly. So you'll notice the first option is the menu string. This is just the title of our template. When we right click in the SOLIDWORKS PDM view in Windows Explorer, this is what's going to show up and identify this template. If we click next, we can now see how the permissions are handled with this template. For this specific template, we want to use the permissions from the logged in user. This is typically what you're going to do for most of your templates unless you have some specific permission structures set up and you want to give more or less access to users using these templates. Go ahead and click next. For this template, we aren't going to need a template card. It's a pretty simple template and it's not going to be required. So we can just click next through here. Here you can see where we created the actual folder structure. So now this all begins by clicking on the current folder and adding a normal folder, a new root folder in. And you can see here we've added one in and named it projects. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one that I've added there. And then below that, we add Vault View subfolders. So you can see here I've added a folder called project name. And then below that, I've added another folder called Documents. It contains folders called client supplied info and spec sheets. And we also have a folder for images. Now let's say that we want to add a new folder in here. We just click on the top level we want to include, click new folder, and here we can add in a title. I'm going to put concept work. And it's that easy to create the structure. Now, one thing that we've added here is the ability to create a custom project name using the template. So what this is going to do is when we create the new folder structure template inside of the vault, it's going to prompt us for a name of the project. So we've added the value by putting it between the two percentage signs here. Let's see how we created that variable. You click on template variables. And because we've already created it, it's here. But if not, we would have created new and it will just pop up. You see here we put the name of the variable, the type, so we're going to prompt the user, and then we're going to prompt to show the user we're going to enter the project info. So the prompt is going to come up with a window and say enter the project info and then have an option below to enter it. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. Go through to the next step now that we're done with our folder structure. We've given this a CVS file extension, which is the custom vault file extension. So this way there's not any confusion when people see the icon. Pretty simple. You can do this for most of your PDM related activities and templates. Go ahead and click next. And here we decide who gets access to this specific template. So we can go by groups and collect on all users, or we can set permissions for specific users over here in our user list. Now that we're done, we click OK. I'm going to close our administration tool, go over to Windows Explorer, jump into our vault, which we're already signed in. I'm going to right click in the white space over here. You'll notice if you try to right click anywhere in the slightly gray space, you're going to get different options. So I typically try to go over into the white space or well below the file structures. So I right click, go down to new, and here you can see we've added in project 1. We click on that. The dialog box comes up asking us to enter the project info. We're going to call this test. Go ahead and click OK. And you can see we've created a projects folder on top. Inside of that, we've got our test folder. And this has the CAD, concept work, documents, and images folders we created, and the subfolders and documents for client supplied info and spec sheets. So you can see this tool is pretty powerful. You can create file structures as large or as small as you want, and you can prompt the users to add more info if there's multiple levels that require project names or project information, for example. You just have to use that variable tool and set it up very carefully. But a very great tool, very easy to create custom folder structures.